Designing in a brand new software is hard enough. What if I told you I can fasten the time that it takes for you to master all the basics so that you can get these shortcuts that are going to take you to the next level? I don't know about you guys, but I am obsessed with Canva, and seeing what everyone can do with Canva just lights me on fire every single day. But if you're still struggling to pick up all of the basics and figure out exactly how to do some of the bare bone essentials, you have got to check out this video because we have the shortcuts that are going to fasten it up and make you be able to design like a pro with ease and do it in half the time you're already doing it. Are you ready? I think we all can agree that as a Canva designer, it is super powerful. There are so many things that we can do on Canva, but here's the thing. Unless we know the shortcuts on how to access those tools quickly, easily, and efficiently, we're going to be left behind. So in today's video, I promise that I'll be able to fasten up your design skills and cut your designing in half, because with these shortcuts, you're going to be able to get far more done in half the amount of time if you follow every single shortcut. Are you ready? Let's dive in. We've been teaching thousands of people the power of Canva, and I'm so excited to dive in today and share with you all of these shortcuts because they are going to be able to take you to the next level. You're going to be able to pull things in quicker than ever. And here's the thing. Canva is a large platform. They have more elements than I've ever seen on any other platform, and some of these hacks are going to show you how to tell Canva specifically what you're looking for, and they're going to be able to show it to you like on a silver platter really easily and really quickly. I know you're going to enjoy this, but at the end of the video, if you're like, Tanner, I want to learn more, check out Canva Confident right down below. It'll impress you. Let's dive in. First thing I want to share with you is that everyone knows all the hacks that it takes to go ahead and find a shape and bring it in from the sidebar. That takes quite a bit of time. What if I told you there were a couple buttons that I could share with you that would fasten this up so that they immediately appear? Simply go to your keyboard and press the letter T. Look what happens. Boom! Your text box appears. You can say, hello, get to writing, start customizing the font, and so much more, all because you pressed the letter T instead of coming over here, grabbing a text box over and over. Quick hacks like this is going to speed up the game when you're designing. But guess what? I have even more for you. Let's go ahead and press the letter R. Instead of having to go through and hunt for a shape, you can simply click the letter R and it'll add in rectangles really quickly. And it is super, super simple. So as you click the letter R, you're able to text in there super easily. And guess what? You can do the same thing with C. If you want to quickly add in a circle, change the colors, things like that, you're going to be able to go through really easily, really quickly, add in shapes like never before with ease because you are learning some of these amazing shortcuts. So whether you're pressing T, R, or C, you're going to get a text box, a rectangle, or a circle just appear. As you can see, you could even add in text on top of that circle. These are really great to have on hand because you just never know what elements you're looking for. And here's the thing. Instead of having to always go to the left-hand sidebar, finding out, add a text box, 2 extra clicks, things like that, this is going to be able to speed it up really well. Let's take it up a notch. What if I told you you could press the letter L and boom, it's go add in a line. And why this is so amazing is that you can easily set this up so quick and so simple just to know a few of these letters are going to be able to give you, whether it's R for rectangle, L for line. This is really, really awesome. But let's take it up a notch. Let's say we're designing with a text box and we're like, you know what? I need another text box. Instead of pressing T, sometimes, it gives your paragraph text, things like that. But let's say we, customize this font right here. We, work with a different font that we really like. You can see this one or some of our fonts from Maker's Gonna Learn. We could go ahead and add in, some of these fun ones and, size it up and be like, okay, now I want to add something to the bottom. Well, instead of adding, pressing T and adding a brand new text box, let me share with you what I would do instead. I would actually select the text box with the font and the sizing I do like, and I would press Command C and Command V. So I was able to just copy and paste that text box and now have it again where I could, go through and modify it and say, whatever the additional text is that I need without having any issues. Another way to duplicate is selecting the letter and pressing Command D, and it'll automatically duplicate it. So I have been trained to select a layer, press Command Copy, then Command V, where I'm able to copy and paste. But if you want an even easier way to do that, select the layer you want and press Command D, and boom, it is for duplicate. So you're able to get multiple really easily. The reason you would want to use copy is say, guess what? Say you want to go through and you want to add this full, these full elements right here. You would press Command C for copy, and then say you want to bring it over to a different page. Say you want to bring it down here. Now you can press Command V, and boom. So it's really great to have these quick shortcuts as you copy and paste and bring elements over to different pages and different things like that. If you're working on a PC, when I refer to command, you're actually going to refer to control. They work kind of seamlessly together versus the Mac where it is command and the PC is control. Now let's talk about images that need to be sized up, but you may already have them perfectly centered. Has that ever happened to you where you're like, man, I need to change the size, but here's the thing, it is in a totally different area. Like I don't want to move it because it's already perfectly centered. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hold down the Option button. And when you hold down the Option button and start scaling it, look what happens. This is the new way where you're holding down the Option button. I can scale it up and down while it stays center. If you guys are familiar, normally without holding the button, we would be able to do this. And look right here. It is no longer centered. That can drive us nuts. So I'm going to go here up to the top left and use my favorite button, which is undo. Or you could actually start practicing some of these shortcut keys, which is Command Z. Boom. It is back to where it was. Quick, quick, quick. I love. Here's another hack for you guys, another shortcut. Say all of these are hard for you to remember. As you hover over these, typically, if there's a shortcut, it will tell you what to do. So redo, is right here. You would hold down the Shift Command Z. So if you wanted to redo, you would hold down Shift Command Z, and boom, we are back there. And if you want to hold down undo, you would press Command Z. I want to give another disclaimer. I, as a designer, have been not as willing to do shortcut keys. But when I watch people who use shortcut keys at their highest level, it is so fun to watch them. So if you have strayed away from shortcut keys in the past, I invite you to go all in. Use the shortcut keys, start doing it, and have fun. Start with just a couple, copy, paste, undo. And as you will get comfortable with it, you'll use it more and more. So as you can see, we can hold down Option and then start scaling that image. I think this is so great to have because it's going to stay right in place and be able to scale up and down. Keep this one in your back pocket for your next big complicated design where you're wanting to move things around without it losing its exact positioning. Now, let's say you have multiple elements that you're wanting to select. All you need to do is hold down your Shift and then start clicking on those layers. It will start moving them together, and then you'd be able to move them around. You could copy and move them to another page, things like that, really, really easily. So anytime you need to start selecting them, just remember all you need to do is hold down Shift, and then look. Once it has this white dash rectangle around it, that means both layers are selected, and you can move them down together. Great one to have in your back pocket for any of your designs. And sometimes it can get overwhelming when you're trying to select them. So just be sure to go slow, hold down Shift, and just click on those layers as you need to create your awesome design and move them around, size them up together, things like that. It's really nice to be able to, scale them up together. And again, if you hold Option, you'll be able to scale even 2 layers up at one time together. All right, this next shortcut is going to blow your mind, so buckle up. Let's say you're working with two layers. What you see here is that the yellow layer is actually larger and a little transparent, and it's on top of the blue layer. And you're like, how in the world am I ever going to click and get to the blue layer? Has this ever happened to you? Happens to me all the time, and I have a trick that is going to blow you away. Are you ready? So you'll just want to select off of it. So meaning the rectangles or anything is not selected. And then you're going to see this box up here. You have animate, you have the background color, you have comments, and you have position. Go ahead and select position. Once you select that, look, I can easily, this is your layers panel for us Cricut users. Listen up, this is layers panel. We can quickly select the blue layer so easily. And then once it's selected, I could actually move it around. A lot of times we get things out of place because we are unable to do that because we aren't sure how to select it. So be sure to keep in your back pocket the position area. It will quickly align the layers together. And guess what? Say you want to move the blue layer to top of the yellow, you can just quickly drag and drop it. And then boom, the blue layer is now on top of the transparent yellow circle that was larger than it. So it is super easy to get that layers panel up. In Canva, you don't have to use the layers panel a ton, but I do like teaching all new Canva users exactly how to get to position and how to find the layers panel, as well as the arrange icons. So what you could do is you could click layers, select the layer you want to work with, and then go to arrange and simply say, hey, guess what? I want to align this to the page in different ways. I want to arrange it differently, forward, and different things like that. It's already the back layer, so these are not able to select. And I could move it forward, say one layer, or I could bring it all the way to the front. We only have two layers, so that was pretty simple. And now I could say, notice I can now go backwards, but the frontwards and forward is not able to select. It's grayed out. So you could use some of these, what's grayed out and what's not as context clues as you design to know what's available and where the layers are. And then visually always click on layers and you can see the order of operations so easily. Another shortcut that I think you all may be sleeping on is apps. Did you guys know there's some really cool apps inside of Canva that are really fun? Today, we're going to work with the clipping mask app. And this one's really fun because it is literally bringing Cricut Design Space slicing functionality to Canva. So once you open up the clipping mask, as you can see here, I wanted to work with a pattern. So we have just an zebra print, and we have that here. And we're going to select this image right here, which is the image of the zebra. And once it's selected, you are going to click Start Masking, which is kind of like Start Slicing, all right? So we're going to click Start Slicing, and you're going to decide, do you want to slice a shape, an image, or text? So say you wanted to create your text, to be zebra print, right? So you could, type out a word. We'll type out zebra, super easy. And then what we'll do is I'm just going to size this up as big as possible. So once you've typed it out and you've been able to scale it, you will click Add to Design. And it simply is able to, look at this, it is able to go through and slice it out. Now you may be saying, Tanner, how do I change the font? Okay, you would have to type it out on Canva, export it, and add it as an image because they don't have the functionality yet to change the font, but it is really cool because then you can go through, edit this, add a background, add an offset, things like that, which is really fun. But now you're able to have some really cool pattern text or pattern shapes, things like that, that would typically be easier to do in Cricut, but is a little bit more challenging and not been able to do on Canva. It's nice to have in your back pocket. How many of us spend half our day in Canva searching through all the elements? I don't know about you, but there's so many. And guys, you've got to figure out a way to simplify it. And guess what? I have a shortcut just for you. Click on your elements and go to search. And we're going to spell gradient. And then once you're here, press enter. Once you press enter, you'll see there's tons of different graphics. You may have to hover over and click graphics, but let's take it a step further. Let's go to the options tab, and let's say we want to find some elements that are purple. And let's take it a step further. Let's say we want to only work with free graphics. Once we're there, look at this. Boom! Look at all of these awesome graphics that we were able to search through, all because we were able to go through and search under gradient and put in the color base that we wanted and say free. For example, let's say we also wanted to see pro, there would be even more amazing images that we could work with. So you could start selecting them, bringing them in, seeing if this would be a great background. For example, love this one. Again, you could merge some of these together with your tool and shortcut we just shared so that you would be able to, clip out text or clip out images and things like that. So all of these are at your fingertips, and it's really nice to have, different specifications so that you can go through and find it as well. So we were able to look at black. You can look at blue. I really like being able to feed Canva more specifications and then it bring me better options, just because it is kind of hard at times to really be able to search through. We have to, find some specifications, right? Super, super fun. Have you ever found an asset or an image on Canva that you're like, oh my gosh, I just want to find all the images that are just like this to be super cohesive with your designing, and all of the different elements that you're building can all look like they go together? What if I told you there's a hack that you can find the exact designer that designed, say, this flower and see what other flowers that they've designed? I have the hack and it's going to blow you away. Let's go ahead and click more information on this graphic. Once you're here, you'll see the typical duplicate, copy, paste, things like that, comment. At the very bottom, there's info. Click info. You'll see that this was designed by Bland Kids, and you can actually click on this to see view more. Once you're there, you'll see all the designs that this designer has made. Now I'll be able to search flower and see all the different flowers that this designer made. Do you see how cohesive these go together? It is super, super fun to be able to go through here and be like, man, I love this one. I love that one. Like, this is going to really help my design. It's really nice to be able to see everything the designer has made when it comes to flowers. And as you can see, they have some really fun flowers with letters and all the different things that you would have never been able to typically find without having to hunt through so many other artist flowers. But now you're able to find one image you like, and chances are that designer has made a lot more for the Canva platform. So any image that you upload into Canva will actually automatically generate the colors. What I mean by that is if you click on here and you just click on the color, you'll see, if you scroll down, to photo colors. This is pulling out the 2 photos that I've uploaded to Canva that are on this document, whether it's the zebra or this rainbow. It has automatically pulled out these colors. So it's doing a lot of work for you. So typically you could go through and manually, say, I want to change the green on this flower just by selecting the layer, selecting the green, and come through and be like, I want to see what it looks like orange, right? That, is a little bit manual work. And y'all, we're giving you the shortcuts today. So what if I told you you could go through, select the image, select the 3 dots, come down here to the button, Apply Colors to Page. Once you're there, click Apply Colors to Page, and boom. If you look at my flower, you're like, I don't really love that yet. So let's do it again. Click More, click Apply Colors to Page. You're like, oh, I think I kind of like that. I'm not sure. We'll do it one more time. And then we'll click Apply Colors to Page. And you're like, ooh, I really like that. So now what we'll do is we'll just change our background color, and we'll change it back to white. And as you can see, this is so crazy. These flowers that were not on brand at all to this image are now all cohesive and they all work together. as a brand designer, as someone that's wanting to create multiple elements and make things go together well, this is something you could have in your back pocket to really not take up a lot of work at all, but really pack a punch in your designing, especially when you have assets like this that now look so cohesive and so fun together. All right, my friends, now is time to work with some really fun text effects in Canva. Let's go ahead and practice what we preached earlier and press T. We are going to add a new text box, and then you can simply add hello, everyone. All right. So we're just going to type something out. And as you can see, we can change the font. We'll come over here, make it thicker just so everybody can see it a little bit better. We'll find a font that we really like. We'll see Blake bold, and then we'll scale it up a little bit. All right. It's been a great time to hold Alt and kept it centered. But anyway, what we're going to do is now we're like, man, I can't really tell. I can't really read it, right? I could try to change the color and like I could do a color that would like pop like pink or something like that. But even with pink, it's still just not that legible. What have I told you? There's some really fun, awesome effects that we could do to this. First things first, you can go up here and click Effects. You must have selected your text box, and then you'll see you could add a shadow, you could lift it off the page. One of my favorites is outline. We could simply outline it and just make that a little bit thicker. We could change this to a lighter color, like so. As you can see, that kind of pops it more off the page. You could try a different, a richer color. Ooh, yeah, so we can see you have the yellow. Beautiful. That is one option. You could easily do that. Save it, really easy. Or you can come up to effects and be like, you know what? I just want it to have a true background. So let's click background and boom, it has been able to go ahead and create a background on your text, and you could spread it tightly. I love the look of this. I think there might be a space in here. No. So yeah, you can see this is all together now and it has a background. You can again click it, click effects again, and under color, you could just change the full color really, really quickly, really, really well. And it's able to do that. Instead of having to go through and add in a shape, size it to fit, things like that, now it's all one layer. It scales with you and all the things like so. So anytime that you need a text effect, like an outline, a background, anything like that, that is under effects. And you can always try different ones. If you want to curve your text, that is also available. There's another feature. So I know a lot of you like to do curved text. And yeah, they're super fun. You can always click none, or you could be like, I want to try a lift and see what that looks like. Doesn't really work in our case. You could add a shadow. Yeah, so it's super fun. I just love having this at my fingertips in case I need to have a quick background offset, things like that, to just make my text pop off the image like never before. Oh my goodness, my friend, what did you think of all of these Canva shortcuts? I promise that you would be feeling way more confident and really be a Canva designer now that you have these shortcuts for your designing, your crafting, your creating like never before. But here's the deal. I have a program that will take you all the way to a Canva Pro, like getting a design degree for only $27. It's called Canva Confident. You can check it out right down below. We absolutely love it. Thousands of people have been through it, and it is proven to take you all the way to design like a pro in Canva and get you super comfortable and confident in there. It's called Canva Confident. We're here to help you. It is so much fun. I have so many other videos on Canva. Be sure to check them out. Our entire channel has quite a few, so I'll link some for you. And I cannot wait for you to hit the subscribe button. We post new videos here every single week, live streams every week, and we have a membership called Makers Gonna Learn, where we can teach you full in-depth on anything you need craft-wise. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.